Hello, dear friends. Paul Willis here with another Developer Diaries for the Rended Wall tabletop role-playing game and world setting. We are joined today by a very special guest, my mom. This is Carol Willis. Do you want to tell the folks, besides being related to me, what you do and kind of just who you are, very briefly?
Sure, thank you. Hello, everybody. Paul already told you my name. I've known this storyteller here from the very beginning, obviously, and seeing his delight. I thoroughly enjoyed the episode 7, I think it was, where he went over his influences from
Yeah,
earlier life,
yeah,
because that
our
was
last episode,
revisiting
yeah.
a lot of things that I was there for, obviously. Besides being one of the parental figures for Paul, I uh, I have a couple of roles that I play in life. As far as what I do, I work part-time for University of Colorado in medical research for helping teams to find people who might want to participate in Parkinson's research and sharing with those people what the clinical trials are all about to see if it's a good fit for them. I also have my own business, which I call the Clapping Oak. It's a whole nother story where that name came from for another time. But I'm involved in some communication training, specifically around intergenerational communication and conflict management. And I do some sewing on the side, which is a lot of fun. So,
You wear a lot of
yep,
hats.
I do.
Yeah.
Keeps life interesting.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. One of those hats that you wear, at least for the last 2 years, has been as Cordelia, a storm sorcerer from the world of Solaria. This has been your very first experience with tabletop gaming. How has that been? How has that been kind of stepping into this experience? I know you've had me to kind of walk you through a lot of the things, but other than that, yeah, just like overall impressions. How does it feel to kind of play some tabletop games?
I am so glad that I decided to do this. I The reason that I was open to it after all these years, because way back in the day, it was like, no, I don't want to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that I am because I knew that I needed play in my life.
Hmm.
I needed to build more play into my life, and I needed to provide space for my creativity to come out and play. And also just time to be together with people that I enjoy being with. And this seemed an ideal way to do that. And that's how it's turned out.
Mm-hmm.
It's provided that avenue to play on a regular basis and to experience new worlds and I mean, I've done so many things that I would have never done in real life as a character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a blast. I went into it knowing nothing. And so for a while, I really thought, it's like starting a new job.
Oh,
You
sure.
know, you
Yeah.
go in
Yeah.
and it's like there's so much to learn. But it did. And I must say, Paul, you were very good at introducing those of us who had not played before to how it works to play a game. And made it an easy and fun thing for me, and I think for the others in our group.
Well, good. I'm glad. Thank you for that. I enjoy exposing, new players to the game because I enjoy it so much and I want to kind of bring more people in. Especially those people that I love and am close to. I think it's a great way to, as you said, kind of share time and connection and all of that. And we have been able to have that regular playtime with friends that live hundreds of miles away on a very regular basis. So it's been really really great. for sure. Yeah. Um, we
Yes.
we we mentioned briefly Cordelia, your character. Do you wanna anything else about Cordelia that you would like to share with us?
Cordelia is 58 years old. She's the oldest person in the party. And also, I am the oldest person in our gaming party, which is a very intergenerational party in both
It is.
aspects, both
Mhm.
the adventuring party and the gaming party,
Mhm.
which I love. I absolutely
I
love.
do
The
too.
youngest
Yeah.
member, I think, is what, maybe 18? And
Well, maybe even 16, I think. The
yeah,
younger
I'm
player
not
might
sure.
even be at 16. But yeah, you're right. It's been like the kind
Yeah,
of late teens all the way up
yeah.
to you. So yeah. Yeah.
And we are all on this, somebody who has done work in intergenerational communication. It's like this is a fun way to have relationships with people of all ages
Mhm.
and play together. So Cordelia is the elder in the group. Um, and you have already introduced people to portions of your map. I've been watching the other videos.
Mhm.
So I will just say that Cordelia was 8 when the wall was rended. And Cordelia has very sketchy memories of that traumatic experience because I lived right up close to it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And since then, traveled to a different part because each of us in our party got to choose where we came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we didn't know where each other were choosing, you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I ended up choosing the same town, Heavy's Rise, that another of our party was from. And um, creating the backstory has been one of the most fun things, I think, in doing this. As
Mhm.
somebody who has done some writing myself, just to create and to see how others in our gaming group create their backstories has just been a delight.
I will say I share that delight as the game master because it's been really wonderful to see people kind of bring up those elements of their character's backstory. And it happens very organically, I feel, where they'll share with me, pretty huge chunks of their story. But then as the thing progresses, it's like, well, we're going to your homeland, on the next stage of our adventure. So we wrap that in and kind of involve those personal stories. So yeah, I think one of the things that has been really fun for me is that kind of interlacing between the personal stories with the larger story that I'm kind of giving you all. Are there any moments that kind of stand out for you where that has really happened in a good way, or even just your kind of thoughts on that whole concept?
Well, the first thing I think about is my doll.
Yes,
That
indeed.
that one of the objects that Cordelia has is a doll that she has had ever since. I mean, she had it before the rending when she had to flee the town, which also at the same time she became an orphan
Mm,
and was
mhm,
adopted by another family that was freeing. But I had this doll and I took it with me. And that doll has been a very precious possession to Cordelia throughout the story, more active at certain times than others.
mhm.
But I've continued to learn through the story, through Paul's storytelling, um, more things about this doll. There's more to the doll than would meet the eye.
Yes, indeed.
And the doll she's part of my personal story, but also in the meta story has been very important as certain parts of the story.
Mhm,
Um, so that's just been really fun to see how it plays out.
mhm, mhm.
And I think of, we have a shipbuilder in our group, and he comes from Bustaref, which is the capital of shipbuilding, and he has a totally different persona, but he brings skills. You know, we all bring from backstories skills that
Mhm.
we have melded together as an adventuring group
Mhm.
to accomplish a lot
A
in the
lot.
course of 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the world is large, you know, and you all have been everywhere at this point, except that it not everywhere. Like you've been all around the
Mm-mm.
world, I guess, is perhaps a more
Yeah,
fitting way of putting that,
yeah,
because there are so many more places that you haven't been to yet. Uh,
yeah.
which as a creator and writer is really exciting for me, to know that, like, oh, there's a lot more things that I could throw at you, you know.
Mhm.
So, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun for sure, to interlace that. And for those of you who are watching that are kind of getting more and more curious about the world of Celeria, when Cordelia mentions her doll, there will be a selection of items that your characters can start with that will somehow be involved in some of the larger things going on. You choose them, and then your game master will be the one to kind of reveal what that is. So,
Mhm.
really kind of fun little secrets that you can throw at your party members. But do you think that that it's been a challenge kind of working with the rules? I know we touched on that just a little bit, but as far as like instances where maybe you wanted your character to be able to do something and they just simply can't because of the
Yeah.
rules.
I mean, that's part of the story, right? I mean, my
Mm,
character is not a superhero.
mm,
I have powers that are superhuman. They're different than what I have as
sure.
a normal human being. This is a fantasy story,
Hmm.
but I'm not. It's not that Deus ex machina kind of thing
Right,
where you can do anything,
right,
like a god. That's not who my character or any of the characters are. And
right.
so that's just something that I accept about the game, even if sometimes it's frustrating. Like the other night when we were playing, there was an instant, and one of the challenges I have found is like because sometimes our party splits and we have a group doing this and a group doing this. And if I'm
Hmm.
here, but there's something else happening here, and
Right.
my character is not there, and yet I'm hearing it, seeing it all because we're
Right,
playing together,
right.
it's like I have to bite my tongue. I have to like sit on my hands because I'm not in that situation and
Right.
I can't make a decision. I can't take an action. I can't say a thing. That's
Hmm.
part of the rules, but it's also part of the story.
Hmm.
And it's fun and it builds a little tension, which can be a good thing.
Sure.
Like there's another instance, and it's a different story, but where there was another character. This is not Solaria because we do
Right.
another one too.
Yeah, we also
Um,
yeah, for those watching, we also my mom and a few friends also play a Pulp Cthulhu game that involves relic hunting around the world in the 1920s. So I think this is probably what she's referring to.
yes, yes. And the other night we were in separate happenings, and
Mhm.
in this setting, they were trying to stop a person from doing something, and there were plates around, and the character that was there, I kept wanting to scream, pick up a plate and hit him over the head. And
Yeah. Bash.
but I was not there. And so
Mhm.
part of the rules, but also part of the story.
Mhm.
And So it's
Mhm.
it's an excellent exercise, and which I think as a somebody who works in communication too is really important. Like you learn when is it up to you to take an action or to
Right.
say something, and when it is it up to you to stand back
Yeah.
and let other people make decisions and
Yeah.
relinquish control over a situation.
Right. And
So good.
sometimes that's because the group is separated and because
Mhm.
circumstances will not allow it, right? And then other times it's because we literally are in a kind of a combat or an action kind of scenario where it is broken down into turns. And it's
Yes.
like it's literally just not your turn, and so you have to just
Right.
wait until something until it comes back around, you know. So yeah, it's been fun to watch all of you deal with that in different ways.
Mhm.
For sure,
Yeah.
we have a group of 8, which is pretty large for a tabletop game. So I think part of that also is for me, you know, it is part of it is storytelling, and then part of it is like, you know, I want you all to be in a more tense situation, and so let's shrink the group a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
Let's kind
Mhm.
of like thin out the herd, so to speak, you
Yes.
know? That's a really bad way of putting it, but that's kind of, you know, it is like you're just kind of separating, so it's like a little bit more, yeah, tense and exciting for
Mhm.
storytelling purposes. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, I think it has been an absolute joy for me thinking just about the intergenerational aspect of it, to be able to involve you in these things, you know?
Me
Because
too.
it is really great to like maintain that kind of fun play relationship, you know. We obviously have our serious moments together too, but like we also know how to have fun and just like play
Mhm.
a game, you know.
Mhm.
And to see you being able to, yeah, embody a character and then interact with other people in these situations is great. I've really enjoyed it. So for anybody watching that is a game master or a player, I cannot recommend it enough. Get your mom or your grandma or your little brother to play with you because those people will come up with amazing creative ideas that you did not think of, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, it is the intergenerational thing is very powerful for sure. Yeah.
And
Um,
there are other diversity kind of things that I mean, it's age diversity, but it's otherwise too. You know, this is such a good place setting
mhm,
to experience with people who think differently, who have had different experiences in life, who come from different backgrounds.
mhm,
Um, and I think that's so valuable and it carries over so much. I mean, it's worth a lot just as play, but it carries over into real life too when we can
mm.
experience it that way.
Yeah, it is. I do feel often that gaming tables are one of the most like welcoming and inclusive kinds of spaces because it's such a like, magical and creative world, and what better place to express yourself in different ways, you know? And so, yeah, I think it has been it's really cool also to see people not just in our group that you're involved with, but in other groups that I've led too, where people are able to experience other cultures, you know, that they haven't been able to before, and in a really kind of like humble way, you know, like being able to like it's not appropriation, it's more like being able to just like look at the world through different eyes, you know.
Mhm.
And then the same thing for just like self-expression, you know, whether it's just like the way someone's character dresses could be much more like colorful and flamboyant than they normally would. It gives people a chance to kind of try that out, or you know, like gender identity or expression, things like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen that a lot where people feel more comfortable to kind of try things out for themselves and see how it feels. And my hope is that all the gaming tables that happens at are welcoming and open for them, you know? Like that should be everyone's experience for sure. Um,
Yeah.
but I think that's pretty much all I had for our little chat. Thank you so much for joining me, Mom. This has been a really fun chat. Um,
Thank
f- for anyone that is watching, thank you for joining us. And we can do if you want to do all of the usual YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe. That would be awesome. Yes, indeed, the point down. That is great. But until next time, take care of yourselves, and we will see you soon.